So hello, my name is Renee Rogers. I'm the head curator here at the Birthplace of Country Music Museum in Bristol, Virginia. Do you know what a museum curator does? A curator oversees the collections and exhibits at a museum. So the objects, images, text panels, and audiovisual elements you see on display here at the Birthplace of Country Music Museum are some of the things that I'm in charge of as head curator. And the curatorial team that I work with pulled together all of these things to tell the story of early commercial country music. So creating an exhibit involves several different tasks. You're going to pick the subject of your exhibit. In our case, like I said, the story of early commercial country music in the 1927 Bristol sessions. You're going to spend time doing research and learning about the subject so that you can plan what story you want to tell within all of the amazing facts and figures that you find out in that process. You're going to ask yourself questions like, what elements of the story will you cover? How will you display them? What do you want your visitors to learn from the exhibit? And all of these will help with the development of that storyline throughout the different rooms of your museum. After you've done all that research, you then have to start actually writing the exhibit script, and that involves writing the text panels. So for instance, when you see behind me the text there, you're also going to be sourcing objects and images to go along with your text and telling the exhibit story and writing captions for these. You're going to be deciding what audiovisual elements that you want to use, so soundscapes or movies or different film experiences or even interactives. And then you're going to actually be writing out a script that tells how all of those different elements interact together. After you've made all of those decisions, you actually work with another company, usually, who will build the exhibit for you. Once the exhibit is built and you're ready to open to the public and share that exhibit with other people, be it an entire museum or just a special exhibit, you're going to promote your exhibit to attract visitors. So you're going to go through a whole series of different steps and different actions and activities in order to find out the best way to tell the story that you want to tell in your museum. Now that we've talked about the bigger picture of creating an exhibit in a museum, I'm here with Julia Underkoffler, our collection specialist, and we're going to talk about how you would make your own exhibit so that you can try this for yourself. So what I did is I just picked a subject that I was interested in, and I love dogs, so I picked the story of Nipper. And Nipper was the dog that was on the Victor Talking Machine record label. He was an actual real dog who lived in the 1800s, based on a painting that was done by a man called Francis Berard, and that is what was used to create the logo for this record company. So I decided that that was the exhibit that we would create, and I did all of the steps that I just talked about. I picked my topic, I did a little bit of research. We happened to have a blog post all about Nipper, which we will share in the notes for this video. And I went back to that and I decided that I was going to tell 3 different things about Nipper. One was that Nipper was a real dog that existed and how he came to be in the logo. A picture here of the painter with the painting that he created of the real dog Nipper, that was then later used to create that logo and how that logo came about. And then also the debate over what kind of dog Nipper was, because based on the painting, some people have said he was a Jack Russell Terrier, some people have said he was a Bull Terrier, some have said he was a Fox Terrier, so we did that. And then Julia helped me to pick out some objects so that would go along with the 3 text panels that we created. And as you can see, each of the text panels have their own illustration on them. So Julia, tell us what we do when we want to find an object for the exhibit.
First, we look in our vault and see what we have in the museum already. For example, this record that was recorded here in Bristol in 1927 by Jimmy Rogers. It's part of our Sessions Records collection, but we can get them from donations, we can purchase them on our own, or we can get objects in on loan, which means we only have them in a short period of time.
And we often do that with exhibits. We might have something that's loaned to us specific to an exhibit that we've created. And then you also have to write captions for your objects. So for instance, you would have what the object is and its date, what it's made out of, so the figurines that we have down here, or the substitute figurines, are ceramic or metal, and then what collection they're from and where they've come from. And then you just put it together to look like a small display that tells that story for you. So even though it's not a full museum, you can pick a topic of your own and you can create a small display in your own very special curated exhibit that tells us something about what you're interested in or even yourself. So you should definitely give this a try.